Good evening and welcome, Stevens Point. I'm Nathan Wegner. This week in SPTV News, chemical pollution is found in Stevens Point. Texas begins to climb out of its energy crisis, and primary elections are happening in Wisconsin. All of this and more when we return. For our first story this evening, the temporary orange fencing that went up in Fifner Pioneer Park last summer was recently revealed to be for a pollution site. Cancer-causing chemicals known as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons were found at the site. The Stevens Point Finance Committee gave permission Monday to city staff to tell the EPA about it, and that the city is not responsible for the contamination. The Department of Natural Resources does not know exactly where the pollution came from, but it can likely be traced to a Wisconsin Public Service gas plant that used to be on the bank of the river. The city's next steps are to run a study on the pollution at the site and to create a cleanup plan. Officials say the plan might be ready by later this year. The pollution and fencing covers only a small area in the park, and city officials want the public to know it is still safe to go and enjoy the rest of the park. Millions went without power in Texas after a massive winter storm and unusual freezing temperatures knocked much of the electricity offline days ago. Many are still living under boiled water advisories, and others have run out of food and ways to get more. For more, we go to CNN's Daryl Forges.
It's hard. The shelters are at capacity. There's no hotels anywhere.
People in Texas fighting to survive.
It's horrible. It's just like, it's very survival mode.
Hundreds of thousands without power.
It's 40-something degrees in our homes.
In frigid temperatures.
We had no firewood left, and we started using things in the house to keep the fire going. And seeing my two sleeping babies under a bunch of blankets in front of the fireplace that was slowly going out was heartbreaking.
Many sleeping in warming centers, furniture stores, or cars, just to fight the freeze.
It's uncomfortable, as you can imagine.
In addition to the power crisis, there's now a water crisis. The brutal cold bursting pipes.
So we're scrambling, trying to figure out, how do we turn this water off.
Others,
I'll take it. Thank you so much.
without any water.
It's unfortunate, a lot of people without water, so we're doing what we can.
Gas.
50 miles I had to drive to get these 2 gallons so I can run a generator overnight.
Or food.
It's very stressful to be in a cold house, and if you're in a cold house, you're definitely not eating any warm food. Then when you go out, you can't find food.
Unrelenting winter storms are sweeping east across the United States, including Texas, bringing more risk of misery and death.
I'm nervous.
In Houston, I'm Daryl Forges.
Unlike the rest of the U.S., Texas has its own electrical grid and is unable to use power generated outside the state. In the meantime, while utilities and supplies are restored, several grassroots efforts to provide aid to Texans have sprung up. The problem still persists for many. A primary election took place on Tuesday this week. The District 3 seat of Congress is up for grabs, as well as the office of State Superintendent. Ron Kind won the Democratic primary, and Derek Van Orden won the Republican primary for the congressional seat. Jill Underly and Deborah Kerr were the two winners of the superintendent primary. In a side note, the day after the election, Kerr deleted her Twitter after backlash to a tweet calling some racially insensitive. Kerr, who is white, posted that she had been called the N-word when she was 16 due to the size of her lips. In addition to deleting her Twitter, Kerr released an apology Wednesday morning. And that's all the news stories we have for you this week. After the break, Ryan Kreft will give us an update in the world of entertainment on and offline.
UW Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
Hey Pointers, I'm Ryan Kreft, and this week in SPTV Entertainment. Start your engines, it's race time! The Grid Life Ice Battle 2021 ice races will be taking place tomorrow, February 20th. The races will take place on the Wisconsin River behind the Lakeside Bar in Stevens Point. Stop by starting at 9 a.m. Saturday to watch and satisfy your wintertime need for speed. Do you have what it takes to win a good old-fashioned bar game? Rookie's Sports Pub in Stevens Point is holding a darts tournament. They bill it as AB Luck of the Draw, race to 3 winners and race to 3 losers. The tournament takes place on Saturday, February 27th, starting at noon. To sign up, message the Rookie's Sports Pub page on Facebook or call or text Eugene Green Jr. at 715-252-1790. The UWSP Department of Theater and Dance will be presenting their first event of the spring semester, a virtual staged reading of The Last Days of Judas Iscariot. Will take place from February 26th to 28th. On the opening night, there will be a pre-show chat with the director, Park Fetch, and the rest of the cast at 7 o'clock on Zoom. For tickets, head to tickets.uwsp.edu. The cost is $5 for students and $15 for everyone else. The reading itself will be live streamed on Vimeo. And that's all I have for you tonight in SPTV Entertainment. For more, check out our entertainment shows, What's the Point? And You Got Game, hosted by yours truly. Next up, I'll pass it off to Nate Wegner with SGA.
For the health and safety of students, SPTV would like to remind you about the new rules we have on campus to help stop the spread of COVID-19.
Face coverings are required indoors and in public spaces.
No matter where you are, please maintain social distancing. Remain 6 feet apart from each other whenever possible. Our public spaces are still open, but we ask that all visitors follow social distancing guidelines.
Thanks everyone, stay safe.
Welcome to our Student Government Association update. This week in SGA, campaigning for the President, Vice President, and Senate race has started. Be sure to stay tuned to SGA's social media and SPTV for more information about who is running and their plans for the future of UWSP. In other news, Senate met last week and passed a statute for faculty to include voter registration information in syllabi for future classes. Your voice has the right to be heard, and we want the faculty to help give you the resources you need to be able to vote, stated President Nygren. If you would like to attend a Senate meeting, you can reach out to the Speaker of the Senate, Bailey Botan. Senate meets every Thursday at 6:15. Next week, student government is partnering with multiple resources on campus to bring awareness to sexual assault and harassment. Starting on Monday, February 22nd, stay tuned to SGA social media for a list of resources that survivors can use. If you or someone you know is struggling with either of these issues, please reach out to someone you trust or the Dean of Students' office. Well, thank you very much, everyone. That's all we have for you this week in SPTV News. Until next time, Stevens Point, stay safe and have a great night.